I have an issue with us noticing that we'll be confirming a public works director and we don't have a name in the agenda packet that's been noticed, or we don't have a salary. And yet council will be asked to do that. And I think to give proper notice and reasonable, maybe it's legal notice, but to me it doesn't seem like it's complete notice. And I think that practice, at some point, the confidentiality when you're applying for a public position has to give way to the need for the public to know. So I don't know how we can fix that or what. I just think it's inappropriate to notice a confirmation. Can you imagine the president noticing to Congress that he is going to try to get confirmation of a Supreme Court appointee, but wait until the hearing until they show up? The whole point of having the public be able to, the way the process was changed to be on new business, was to allow the public to input. It's not to say that someone's going to say, I don't like that guy, his car is too loud or whatever, but if there's an issue, and then people should be able to know that, hey, he's my neighbor, I think he's a great guy, I'd like to go and say,
Okay.
I don't know
Brett,
what the
you wanna-
justification was. I mean, we were 4 days out. That was Friday that item was published with blanks for the salary. And nobody on council's been told what the salary is going to be, or at least I haven't.
Okay, Brett, would you like to respond?
Yeah, I'm happy to get back to, I don't know if I have all the information. I think we made it clear at the beginning we wanted to respect the confidentiality of candidates who are applying for a job, if they're currently employed in particular. And so we're happy to respond to that. I understand his name's out, though. I mean, I think that's been out in the media, is not my understanding.
But the media is not where a person who attends a meeting and wants to find out should have to go. I mean, they should be able to go to the public to notice the meeting to say, and at the point, I understand the confidentiality, and I think everybody respected that. But I think at the point where the mayor's decided that there's a good likelihood of confirmation and then that we're going to go ahead and notice it to a meeting, that confidentiality should give way within 4 days of when the confirmation's to take place to the need for the public to have the opportunity to know who's being confirmed. That's my only point.
If I could just respond and say, I'd like to have Mike Sullivan come back and address that if I could. He's not present, but I will understand the issue. So.
Yeah, it would be my understanding that we could not confirm somebody that wasn't, who fully was disclosed and everybody knew what their salary was. I just assumed that we had no ability to confirm somebody on a total confidential basis. I don't see any precedent for that. And I would say that that would be a bad practice if we could do that.
Well, certainly at the point of confirmation, that's going to be a very public process. So that's...
But it's not public when the public doesn't even know who it's going to be until they show up.
Well, this is the process that I understand that we're dealing with in order to maintain the confidentiality of folks who are currently employed. This is not the same as, tapping a federal appellate judge that everybody knows to come in and see if they want to be on the Supreme Court. It just works a little differently here than the Congress of the United States, but we certainly understand your position.
I would just like to know if there's past precedent that it's been done this way and what is the normal, typical way of doing it. I would think that at the time that we publish an agenda that it has to go public at some time. So I don't know. Councilmember Collins.
I first questioned this process, and I understand the reason for confidentiality, but when the media gets the name and the names out there, I would personally like to know the salary, because I have an issue with salary brackets, and we always seem to hire at the top end of salary brackets. And 70% of our taxpayer money goes to city salaries. And, we should base the salary on experience and thing, and we just have not had a public process with this.
Okay, any other comments? Okay, let's go to review of the previous minutes.
Can I just ask?
Sure.
So because by not deciding to do something, we're not noticing that name, so it's still blank on the official. Can we not, as council, decide to notice this?
The item is noticed for your consideration, and my understanding would be that we would insert, when we adopt the resolution tomorrow, we would insert a name and a salary unless the executive branch is able to get us a completed resolution before, I don't know, before the end of the day.
That's my understanding as well. I mean, I don't know what the past precedent is, but my understanding is you would insert the name and the salary tomorrow upon confirmation.
I suppose if council wants to take action, we could talk about it today. I don't know what the proposed salary is going to be from the administration, but I think it's something that we could ask for maybe some further information to come over, and if whether we could publish that today, if that's
If that's your request, I will get back to you.
that would be beneficial if we could do that. I think that would be helpful.